So next up is the Plague. It's his normal look. So the Plague.
After work, look that.
There's a few changes to the Plague. Some have been around for a while anyway, and there's some that are brand new. So you still get your Plague Lord, you still get your 3A General, you can make your zombies. But you've got a new leader in the stage 3A Lieutenant, or Lieutenant if you're in other parts of the world.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant for us.
Lieutenant. If you call it Lieutenant, you know, ungrateful colonials.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's 18 points, 2 VPs. So another cheap option for leaders for the Plague. He's very similar to the 3A General. The main difference is he's got a new splat, of course. So this splat is called Thirst for Blood, which actually only works on some models. So you have to, well, you don't have to, but you're better off making a build unique to him. And that means that 2As, 2Bs, or aberrations can use benefit from his splat. And what they get is they get a movement gain of 0/+1. So if you're pinning them, you still negate their ability to sprint. But they also get AP1 boost on whatever weapon they've got. And if they suffer from rampage, like 2As and aberrations do, then they don't need to test that turn. So it's quite a good use to keep your army going and negate one of the sort of main downsides to the Plague.
The AP is +1, not that they turn to AP.
Yeah, +1, so one more than they've already got. Now, a lot of the other models are much the same as they were. So the 2As, the 3As, the 3D dogs, and the zombies, all exactly the same, of course. There is a whole new range of specialists, of course. Now, these are the same specialists as in the core book and from the Nexus Psi expansion. So these have never been in the official list in one place before, but they are Murderbirds, which I think...
Which we know that someone who loves them, someone who hates them.
Who loves them? Who loves Murderbirds?
Is it James Tandy?
James Tandy loves them.
Who hates them? Is it someone who wants one of these mugs but is never getting one?
Ben Wright, thinking of you, man. Thinking of you. But Murderbirds, yeah, so Murderbirds are pretty nasty because they are tough, they have scout, and they're fast anyway, so they get right up in your grill if you're not careful.
And they flight.
Yeah, and they fly, of course, yeah. So they get right up in your grill very quickly, and they stick around. They're not brilliant fighters or anything like that, really.
They're not bad fighters, fight football.
But it's the sticking around, I think, that's the most important.
The fact that they're size 2, yeah,
we're size 2 are tough. So yeah, they're officially sort of in there now. The other thing that's officially in there as well is the Burster, the 2B Burster. And yeah, they're good, aren't they? They're good as well. So they're cheap. Not brilliant in lots of ways, but they have boom 4. So if they do get to go into a cube or get killed by someone, then they'll likely take off whoever's destroyed them.
I really like the Bursters.
Yeah, they're really great models.
They've got armoured.
Yeah.
They're size 2. Decent survival 4. Alright fight, but then even if you do kill them, they blow up and kill you.
Yeah, yeah. And the main thing for them is that they, you know, where
only one VP as well, which most of the good stuff in Plague aren't.
Yeah, I mean, if you stick them on an objective, for instance, then make the opponent come to you.
Yeah.
Brilliant, you know, perfect. No other major changes in the Plague, except that the 3A weapons team is what they've got now. Instead of, they used to have mortar and a loader, but now it's a weapons team, so they can only have one option, which is the mortar. But that comes basically now as a one base.
Size 3, so it's more survivable in a way.
So again, that's similar to the GCPS, and the Revs have that as well. So have a look at that. It makes it much more user-friendly than it used to be in the previous rendition.
And also the Plague Strider is now better.
Yeah, so he's not better in his stats, but what's he better because of? He's better because his chainsaw has got better.
Yeah.
And his flamer has got cheaper, which means that making a close combat strider now, and this is the same for the Enforcers and the GCPS and the Revs and all the other units that have striders, is now a much more viable option, because to take him totally tooled out with a chainsaw and a flamer, he's coming in at 44 points now, and only 4 BP.
I wouldn't take this flamer, I'd take 2 chainsaws.
Why would you take 2 chainsaws?
Because he'd be frenzy too with fight 4.
That's pretty nasty actually, isn't it? And size 4, and armor 3. That's actually pretty nasty.
And it's now AP2 chainsaw.
Yes, so chainsaws are much, much better than they used to be. So we know for a long time, nobody used to take a Plague Strider because when you compared him to an aberration or a territory, he just
no
not quite the mustard. You couldn't shoot for Toffee because he's got a shoot stat of 6, so you're never going to put the Polaris on him.
You might put the burst laser on because it's away from 2.
And the suppression.
Yeah.
But it really is designed for the close combat version, but no one would take it because the close combat weapons weren't good enough. So we've made that a little bit better, and so therefore he can now do that a lot more damage than he used to. So I would hope to see some Plague Striders hitting the table anytime soon. And there's not anything else changing for the Plague, so they've sort of gained just one new stat profile and a bit of reorientation of some of their other stuff. So, but they're looking good. They're good. The other thing, there's one other thing we haven't mentioned. The stage 2A has gained Frenzy 1. Yeah, so he's again a much more sort of usable version of what he used to be. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of fun.
One of the best troop choices in the game, really now.
Going to see a lot of fun from the Plague, I think. Great, thank you very much for watching, guys.